Meanwhile, let's turn to something else politically that's talking about today, which is the new Chief of the Defence Staff, General Sir Carter, is saying about Northern Ireland veterans. And he has said that on his watch, it will not happen that vexatious claims are taken through. But on the other hand, you know, there are people saying, well, how do you know it's a vexatious claim unless it's been investigated? We've got all of this being discussed at the moment as to whether there should be a statute of limitations for veterans.
I mean, it's a good thing if the Chief of Defence Staff is standing up for our armed forces. And I agree with him when he says that, you know, our soldiers in Northern Ireland were enormously brave and did a very important job in bringing peace. But you're absolutely right. You know, what he actually seems to have said is people won't be investigated if they haven't done anything wrong. Well, part of the way that you maintain confidence in our armed forces to be actually that level above some others in terms of the appropriateness and the way in which they behave is, if you think something has happened, to investigate it. Now, I think he's right.
We have let out all the IRA terrorists under the Good Friday Agreement, which a lot of us had a bit of an issue with at the time.
But it
has brought peace. Well, no, they were guilty of terrorist crimes and they were let out of prison. So, and now we're suggesting that men in their 70s should be investigated for so-called crimes sort of 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's utterly preposterous. It's not treating our armed forces in the way that they should be treated.
Isn't part of the reason why our armed forces, and we, in fact, are respected around the world, is because we do expect the highest possible standards of behaviour from them. And if we're going to continue with that respect, we need to maintain that.
Well, put all the IRA terrorists back in prison,
you know, as you say, that was an important part of the peace negotiations.
Well, so this should not be allowed to happen.
What, you don't think if there was evidence that a member of our armed forces had done something that was inappropriate by our standards, you don't think that should be investigated?
No, because it's basically history now. What is going to be gained by doing this?
Even Sir Carter has said if there is evidence that something was done, something was done badly, was done wrong, there should be an investigation.
I mean, are you arguing for a sort of blanket amnesty?
Because it would have to include everybody, wouldn't it? It would have to include terrorists in that case, because
it does include terrorists. They were all let out of jail. So I am saying that there should be a blanket amnesty.
Okay.
Yes.